Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Oksana and today I want to share with you how you can easily make your own Christmas ornaments that look really high-end and fancy. We will make an 8-pointed Bethlehem Christmas star inspired by Pottery Barn and Lulu in Georgia, a fluffy 3D snowflake like the ones you would find at West Elm and Crate & Barrel. And lastly, I will show you one more DIY ornament, even though it's not a dupe or replica of anything from the stores, but it looks so luxurious and chic that I think it definitely deserves your attention all on its own. Now, you can download the star template for free on my website, which has now become a kind of a holiday tradition on my channel because last year I also shared with you a complimentary template for the Christmas tree. But besides this, I also want to give away any of my paid templates to 3 of you as a big special thank you because my channel just reached a big milestone. It's 20,000 subscribers. So make sure you watch the video until the end if you want to find out how you can participate in the giveaway. And without further ado, let's jump right into the DIYs. Alright guys, to make a Christmas star, first you need to download the template as I mentioned earlier, and then cut out 8 rays. 4 large and 4 smaller ones. I use my cutting machine as always, but if you don't have one, my templates always come with PDF files as well that you can print on a regular printer and then easily cut out all the pieces by hand. This should be very simple because the ray shapes are pretty easy to cut out. Now, a few words about paper. Of course, you can choose any paper you like, whether it's regular matte paper, metallic paper like the one I'm using here, or even glitter paper, which by the way will look so festive and glamorous, but keep in mind that the thicker your paper, the more difficult it might be to work with. So here I'm using 120 grams metallic paper in a gorgeous copper color. It doesn't have a sleek surface, which is very important, and it's not thick, making it an ideal choice for this project. There is also foil paper you can find at Michael's, and I know it's very tempting to use because of its beautiful mirrored finish, especially for Christmas projects, but I want to warn you that it's quite challenging to work with. I made this star from this rose gold foil paper and it turned out beautiful, but I had a very hard time because my glue upon contact with it dissolves the top layer and oxidizes it, which made the process quite a struggle. Because any mistake like too much glue or even a simple touch with the glue on your fingers will be immediately noticeable and can just ruin the look. Additionally, the paper is pretty thick and has a sleek and shiny surface, so if you really want to use it, I would definitely recommend practicing first to get the hang of it. And a few more words about glue. You don't want to use regular thin and runny craft glue because it dries super slowly, it's too wet and can warp your paper. What you need is a craft glue that dries fast without being too runny. Even better, use glue sticks because you won't have any mess with glue oozing from the seams. The reason I'm not using a glue stick here is simply because my other glue dries much quicker and I want to get everything done fast. But if you want a super neat finish, definitely go for the glue stick. And in addition to paper and glue, you will also need a ruler and a craft knife on hand, because first we need to mark fold lines on each ray. I intentionally didn't include these lines directly on the templates because it just wouldn't look very nice and neat with those dash scoring lines, if that makes sense. So all you have to do is connect the 2 highest points with the lowest one. And be careful not to press too hard on the knife to avoid cutting through the paper. After the fold lines are marked, I begin to fold each ray, helping myself with the ruler. And all the other scoring lines are already conveniently marked on the templates for you, so it will be very easy to fold them. If you are cutting out the parts by hand, you will just additionally need to mark the remaining lines with the craft knife, but don't worry, it's not difficult because you will easily spot the points you need to connect. Now look, once you've shaped a ray, we need to glue it together. But holding it like this while trying to glue can be pretty awkward and there is a good chance you will mess the ray with glue. So before you start gluing, fold the ray like a flat envelope, just like this. When you lay it flat on the table, gluing will be way more comfortable and you will get a much cleaner finish. And try not to apply too much glue so that it doesn't squeeze out over the edges. This is also very important for a clean look. If it does happen that the glue is squeezed out somewhere, just try to remove it immediately. Also, always check if the ray is not stuck together from the inside. If it does, simply use a craft knife to separate it while the glue is still wet. So like this, I fold and glue all my 8 rays. Guys, after I had already glued all the rays, it just hit me that I completely forgot to make some sort of fastening so that the star could be hung on a Christmas tree. So I'll do that now, but obviously it's better to do it when you are gluing one of the rays. So here's what I did. I took the wire, put a bit of hot glue on it and threaded it through the ray. This way it's securely fixed inside. But if you do this like you should before gluing, it will be much simpler. Just glue a small piece of wire inside and then close and glue the ray. And then I make a loop at the end of the wire. Alright, all that's left is to glue all the rays together. At this point I'm switching to hot glue because it dries very quickly, which is exactly what I need. When working with hot glue, try to be very careful but be quick. Remember not to apply too much and try to press the edges very tightly together when you're gluing them. Look, I glue the edges one at a time, and before applying the glue I make sure to lift and pull out each edge that I'm going to glue. Please don't even try to apply glue to both edges at once. You can do this with any other glue but not with hot glue, because while you are aligning one edge, the glue on the second will already harden. And in general, when you do it one at a time, you will be much more careful. And this way I'm gluing all the rays one by one.
Here we are, a cold December night.
The very last gluing, when I already put the star together, I switch back to regular glue again, just because it's too hard to get everything perfectly lined up and not make a mess using hot glue at this point. I hope it makes sense. And here's the beautiful Christmas star that I got from just 2 sheets of paper. I think it looks very fancy and will be a beautiful addition to any Christmas tree, but we are moving forward to our next ornament, Snowflake. For a snowflake, you will need 9 identical parts like this, and just like I did for the star, we need to mark the fold lines in the middle of each ray. By the way, am I correct to call it a ray, or is there any other specific name for this? I'm not sure. Please let me know what you call each snowflake branch. So I marked the middle lines with a craft knife, but all the other fold lines are already included in the template, so it will be very easy for you to fold everything else. To make it easy to glue each part, just like the rays of the star, it's really handy to fold it flat first, like this, kind of like an envelope. I'm using the same fast drying glue that I used for the star. Remember not to put too much glue to avoid it squeezing out over the edges. And again, if you're not sure that you can do this neatly, a glue stick will be your best option. Please note that some of my parts have a hole in the base while others don't. I've added these holes so you can thread a string through them and hang a snowflake on your tree. So if you are planning to do this, you will need 2 of these parts with a hole in the base out of the total 9.
Walking around in the snow, we do it in a very Christmas way.
Always check to ensure that the parts are not stuck inside because of any glue leakage. If it's stuck, just carefully separate it using a craft knife before the glue has completely dried. And like this, I glue all my 9 parts. Alright, let's get started with gluing the parts together, and first I will glue the 2 parts with holes for a thread. I found this beautiful metallic pearl floss at Michael's and I think it will be perfect for this purpose. So I pass the thread through both of these parts, tie a little knot, and then I need to glue them together. At this point, I'll switch back to hot glue again just because it's a lot faster, and as you probably already figured out, we apply glue to the triangle at the base. Try not to glue the thread so that it can move freely, and make sure to align all the edges. And to make sure everything stays even, I glue the parts in pairs first. then I glue 2 pairs together, and so on. This approach results in a more level final piece compared to gluing the parts together one on one, which can increase the chance of misalignment. I hope this makes sense. Perfect. Once all the parts are glued, the only thing left to do is glue the ends together to get a beautiful snowflake. Alternatively, you can choose not to glue the ends, but instead attach magnets to them. This way it will be very convenient to store the snowflake folded, and you can easily open it up whenever you need. I decided to glue my snowflake, and this is the beauty I ended up with. For a snowflake, it's not that important what paper you choose because it's much easier to make than a star, so you can experiment with different papers. For example, you can see that for one of my snowflake I used gold foil paper. This paper is also from Michaels and it has a white backside, but I use it the other way around. The white side I used for the outside of the snowflake and the shiny gold side for the inside. And I think it turned out very interesting looking and very festive. What do you think? The finished snowflake is about 7.5 inches in diameter. I think it's so wonderfully fluffy and lovely, and the best part, it's super easy to make, so I really hope you will give it a try. We are moving forward and I want to show you one more ornament that you can make yourself. So here's the thing. A while back, I don't even remember where I saw beautiful bubbles like this, and I love them so much that they stayed in my memory. I tried to find something similar in stores, but I never found anything like this anywhere. So I decided to make them myself. The challenge was finding rhinestones in the right size and shape, because they are not only hard to find, but they can also be quite expensive, because often rhinestones like this sold in packs of a few or in dozens when I needed hundreds. So I was searching everywhere online and eventually I found these rhinestones on a random Chinese website. This pack has about 3,000 rhinestones, and the best part is they only cost me about $10 including shipping. Yes, they are not made of glass, they are chippy acrylic, but you know what, from a distance you won't even notice the difference. I will try to find something similar on Amazon for you guys, but either way I will leave a link to the Chinese website where I found them, just in case you are interested. The only downside is they come in just one color, silver, so there are no other color options, unfortunately. These rhinestones measure 8 by 8 millimeters, which is about 0.3 inches, and I think this is the perfect size for this project. The point is that you need exactly square rhinestones with a flat base because they will be arranged in a checkerboard pattern on the wall. I use regular 4-inch clear DIY ornaments from Hobby Lobby or the dollar store, it doesn't really matter, and you can use balls of any other sizes as well. And everything here is very simple and straightforward. You just need to glue the rhinestones onto the ball. The only thing I would like to share are some helpful tips for you to keep in mind. And the first tip, once again, is about glue, because it's very important what type of glue you use. You need a fast setting glue, so it's obvious that regular craft glue will not work here. I prefer using hot glue just because I have a lot of experience working with it. I know how to use it without leaving those annoying hot glue strings, and I apply a very small amount. If you are unsure about working precisely with hot glue, then it's better to use another quick drying glue. But please avoid using super glue because it will damage both the rhinestones and the ornament. You can see the type of glue I also use, and it's working well for this project, but I can work much faster with hot glue, so it's my preference. The second tip I would like to share is the order in which it's best to apply the rhinestones. I prefer to sort of divide the ball into 4 equal parts first. So I begin by applying rhinestones vertically around the ball and then horizontally around the ball. Although it might not be very noticeable in the video, if you look closely you will see a seam on a plastic ball that can serve as a guide to help you glue these rows straight. And then glue all the other rhinestones in a checkerboard pattern. I'll say right away that no matter how hard you try, you will not be able to make it absolutely perfect because the ball is round. Don't stress too much about it and just do your best to spread the rhinestones evenly. Trust me, these imperfections won't be even noticeable in the finished product. Finally, I also covered the ornaments cap with rhinestones to upgrade this kind of plain and cheapy cap, and of course also add some sparkle to it. So this is the rhinestone ornament I got. Just to give you an idea, for one 4-inch ball I used around 300 rhinestones of this 8mm size. It took me approximately 2 hours to cover the entire ball. You can decide for yourself if that's too much time or not. However, I think the result is stunning. These ornaments have a really high-end and expensive look, and you will enjoy them for many years. So in my opinion, they're absolutely worth the effort. Okay guys, if you want to win any of my paid templates, it's actually very easy. Just make sure you are subscribed to this channel, like this video, and leave me a comment about which template you would like and what you plan to decorate with the product you make using it. You can check all the available templates on my website. It's fancybloom.net. I'll make sure to leave a link for you in the description box. I have templates for various Christmas tree designs, angels, a brand new snowflake, poinsettia and magnolia flowers, which by the way I used to decorate a Christmas tree 3 years ago with my bestie. You can find that video on my channel too, as well as other flower templates which are also included in this giveaway. I'll pick 3 lucky winners exactly 1 week from today, and I will announce it in a pinned comment. So if you participate, I wish you good luck, and thank you very much to everyone else for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you get some new ideas for the Christmas ornaments that you can make yourself. I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.